All right. So I'm excited to do a podcast spotlighting the TMT Agent of the Week. And today I have with me Annessa Fackelman. Say hi, Annessa.
Hello.
So Annessa is a agent on our team here at the Tyler Miller team at eXp Realty. For those of you listening for the first time, my name is Tyler Miller. I am the team leader of the Tyler Miller team, and we are a top team in the Twin Cities. So every week I want to spotlight our top agent at that time for things that they have accomplished recently in their business, just to shed some light on what they're doing and maybe help others out there that are listening. Excuse me. So just to recap, in the past 30 days, Annessa, you have hosted 3 open houses. Mm-hmm. You have gotten 3 offers accepted. I have. Snaps for Annessa. And the most important one is you've shown your one large heart with your client and multiple clients over your time here at our team, but it's been very apparent as of late. So those are the reasons that we felt Annessa deserved to be spotlighted for this week. So for those of you that don't know you, Annessa, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us how long you've been in the industry and on the team. What do you do before real estate, and what do you do for fun?
Ooh. So my name is Annessa Fackelman, and
Woo.
I obviously am on Tyler's team.
Shocker.
So I have had my license just short of 11 months right now. I've been on the team for that same amount of time. Mm-hmm. Prior to this, I was a retail store manager for Walgreens.
The Wall.
That's
where we first met.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I actually was her boss then too, and she loved it so much that she wanted it to happen again. So
apparently I loved
she quit her other job so that I could be her boss again. That's not true, but
no, it's not true.
I was her boss before.
Yes, that part is true. Mm-hmm. Yes. So I worked as a store manager for Walgreens and took the plunge to real estate instead.
It's crazy. It's already been 11 months.
Yeah, it has been.
It's crazy.
It's been a little over a year since I left Walgreens.
Yeah.
Because I left and jumped right in to focus on my license time.
Yeah, she let a slimy salesman in her kitchen.
It did.
It was me. And she was saying about selling her house, and we were kind of talking, and she kind of expressed interest in real estate, and I'm like, you should for sure do it. Like, you'd be great.
Yeah.
And I say that to a lot of people, but most people don't do it. Annessa was silly enough to do it, but it's been going awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd always been interested in it and just didn't ever feel it was the right time to take the plunge. And I was definitely looking for a change, which is why I called you in the first place.
Yep.
So I wanted to know what that looked like for me to possibly sell my house. And then we had that conversation, and again, I was looking for a change, and it just seemed like the perfect, I don't know, it's like everything just kind of fell into place the way it was meant to. It was,
everything happens for a reason in real estate. That is, so true. Yeah. Tell us about your family. What do you like to do for fun?
So my family, well, I have 5 kids. My oldest lives in North Carolina with her husband and my 1 grandson. Then my son Joseph's in Utah with his wife and 2 grandsons. Then I have Shelby, who I helped buy a house in Mounds View. So her and her fiance live there. I have Alex with me, and Jake is over in Japan right now as a Marine. So
crazy. Yeah. And then you have like 4 other children on this team, essentially, because they're like 20 and 21.
Yeah. Yep. It's hard not to, look at them like
it's
my
crazy.
Kids and,
I know. And then what do you like to do for fun?
I don't spend a whole lot of time doing fun lately because I've just been being a realtor.
Which is fun.
No, I love photography. I love road trips. I love getting in my car and just driving, which is wonderful for this job. I don't mind the driving around.
Jamming out,
yeah.
What do you jam to? What's your go-to jam session?
Jam to session. Let me think.
I know this wasn't one of the questions.
No, it wasn't one of the questions.
I mean, we had a good jam session the other night.
We did. You know what? I love all ranges of music.
Yeah, kind of like me.
So
we were
it
jamming
just-
to everything from like Miley to like Disturbed.
Right. Yeah. Went from country music to then Disturbed.
Yeah,
And it was
good.
Just it's a natural flow. Just whatever in the moment. But I'll also listen to podcasts, and if I try to read a book, I'm going to fall asleep. But I can listen to books, do the audiobooks. So.
I remember now that you say the whole like road trips and traveling thing. Like when you joined our team, like the first thing you did was take a vacation because you hadn't had one in how many years?
It was less than a year, but
like
just in general, like, yeah.
to go to leave the retail world is like
Yep.
really hard when you're a manager. So
Yep.
I thought that was also really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Well, so to update everybody with what you've accomplished so far. So you've been with us for 11 months, been in the industry 11 months. And in that time you have 12 units closer pending. And I wanted you to kind of, express to people that are listening, maybe other realtors that are trying to figure out if what they need to do, or people think about getting in the industry, like, what does it take? Talk about some of your habits, your routines, people in your life that you can like owe or look at and owe some success or have contributed to your success in some way. Yeah,
I would say the first thing is just I get up every day and I go to work.
Mm-hmm. Treat it like a job.
Like a job.
Yep.
In fact, for me, I have to force myself not to work.
She also sits in the same seat in the office every day too.
Not always.
Almost.
Not always.
She's a creature of habit.
I am a creature of habit. But I would say that being part of this team, definitely set me up for success, and the systems that you guys have in place. So it's just following that. And then
what's one specific thing you can think of, like from a system standpoint or a tip or like just something that clicked?
Well, one, having the mentorship and having someone to ask questions, but I would say just the systems of when to follow up, how to follow up, and really learning all of the core things, like what's in a contract, like,
right.
How to talk about this, what are the objection handlers, and knowing all of those things to where you can feel comfortable having a conversation with somebody about it. Because if you don't know those things and get to the core, it can make it difficult to want to have that conversation out of fear of what if they ask me a question that I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So it's really diving into what is real estate, how does it work,
yep.
What's the market look like right now, and that is definitely helping. I'm still growing, obviously. There's a lot I still have to learn, but I definitely feel comfortable having a conversation in general about real estate and what that looks like. And
shout out to your mentor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's your mentor?
Jaden Latecki.
Jadon
Yeah.
Latecki. The mentorship program is, I wish I had that when I get into the industry. I mean, I had my dad, so basically I had it, but like it's such a help to anybody getting in the industry for sure. But yeah, Jadon, the man, the myth, the legend.
Yes, I say he's my sensei. He's taught me to wax on, wax off,
He has.
paint the fence,
Yeah.
All the things, yeah. No, that has been great, but...
And I think, to put yourself out there too. I mean, Jaden does a really good job of just kind of throwing himself out there in social, being true to himself. And I think that's a good example of like what you should be doing. Don't try to fake it.
Right, right, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Anything else you want to touch on with that one?
Well, you had asked too about like a shout out to like who has helped me.
Yeah.
I would, have to say that obviously you, in the sense that I probably wouldn't have taken the plunge at that time if you weren't so encouraging.
Gave you a good shove.
You did. You definitely gave me a shove. My son Alex was also huge in that as well. which is why I even thought of making the change instead of saying stuck. He's like, you need to do something different. I was kind of killing myself. So he was huge in that. And, I definitely believe in God and my faith. And there's times that I doubt, and I hand it to him. And, that was one of the things that Alex told me, because I was so nervous about making the change. And he said, Mom, if you turn yourself away from anything that is keeping you from God, because I wasn't going to church. I was working at every single Sunday from open to close. And he's like, if you turn away from that, God's got you. And it took that. It was that broke that camel's back that I was just like, I just jumped at that point. I just went. I had your encouragement that, hey, I got you. I'll teach you. And then I got my son saying, you just need to take that plunge.
Yeah.
You just need to do it. God's got you. And I firmly believe that, but I just hearing it from my 21-year-old son at the time was just kind of mind blowing too. And it just kind of helps as a mom to have that courage to just do it, because you have your kids behind you.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
To like with my kids, they're 7 and 9, to think someday they'll give me some life-changing advice. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's really cool. Alex must have had a really good mom.
Oh, maybe.
But yeah, no. And, I think I'm sure there's plenty of ways I've helped you, but I think the thing that anybody on this team knows is it's a team effort. It's a little bit of everybody, helps make us all better. Right. So,
absolutely.
It's a fun place to be. Okay, so the next question I have is, because I said on the shout out or on the spotlight on social media, you had open houses, offers accepted, and then you have one large heart. I want you to just share briefly about a couple ways you've helped your clients out personally, because it's not super common in real estate that a realtor maybe takes as much of a presence or puts as much of an effort into providing such a amazing experience for their clients. So I think it's just something that you should share so other people understand what it really takes to have a large heart in this industry. So touch on a couple things you've run into, whether maybe you plan to do them or not,
right?
But you've always been up for the task.
Right.
That you're willing to share.
Yeah.
Keep names confidential, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll just touch a little bit about the most recent. One of my clients is an older gentleman and doesn't have a lot of support. And so he needs a lot of support. I helped him find a home and helping him sell his house currently. And, he's been in the hospital, and with that, I feel part of it is I have this responsibility as his, as his realtor to help the transaction go along. But I also have gotten to know him. And
right.
I know that he doesn't have a lot of support. His closest family member, lives out of state. And, I've gone to the hospital just to hang out with him and visit. I feel that I have an innate ability to put myself in other people's shoes.
Yep.
And I put myself in his shoes, and I feel that, I'm interacting with him daily. And I can't just interact with him daily on a business.
I know.
Knowing that, he's in the hospital and he's struggling. And, I want to show him that I care beyond just selling his house and collecting a paycheck.
Well, it's not even that you want to show him. You actually do.
I do. Right.
Right.
But that's so, I care.
It's rare, though.
Yeah.
And that's a quality that you can't teach. It's a quality that alone will make you incredibly successful in this industry. I can 1,000% relate to you. That's how I am with all my transactions. Mm-hmm. We call them transactions, but it's life moments.
Right.
That's what makes this industry great. So it makes it hard though too, because as soon as that closing's done, it's like, wait, I don't have to go to the hospital anymore. I don't need to check on them all the time. You probably still will want to, but it's different, right? So it's real estate's a very emotional thing because it like ends so quickly, and then like you kind of want to let them enjoy their new chapter or whatever. But I mean, there's so many times where I'm sitting at someone's kitchen table, like tearing up while talking to them about things because I'm like you, very passionate about like just I can put myself in their shoes. And I think a lot of people say that, but like I think you and I feel it differently. You know what I mean? It's I don't maybe I'm thinking about it wrong, but I just feel like that's a unteachable quality. You either have it, you have this heart, you have this empathy for everybody, this relatability, or you don't. You know, and that's something that I wanted. You know, when we were creating that post for you, like there's so many things that you're doing. Production wise, business related, all these things, but you more so than most show your heart time and time again, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, that needs to be recognized. So
Thank you.
that's why we put that on there, because it's not common. Everybody cares. Don't get me wrong, but it's a deeper meaning for you, I think, especially.
And it definitely is, because I'm, like you said, it's not me going through the motions. I genuinely care, and you know, want to help somebody put a smile on their face. And it does, and he recognizes that and is thankful for it. And again, it's not about the thank you. It's just about me being a human being and a decent human being, and you know, doing what I can in the world to help. So.
And including painting people's walls for them at times.
And painting, yes.
That has happened.
That has happened, yes. I've painted the room.
If any seller out there is listening, it's just like, how do I get cheap labor and a great realtor? Well, give Annessa a call. I told her, I'm like, we're not advertising that, but I'm glad you did it. Okay, well, I think that's a very important one for people to just understand. Like, this industry is, you know, you see the selling sunsets and you see the $1 million listing shows and all this stuff. And like, that part is fun, but it's like, it's a people thing. And like, if you're not a people person, you'll get burnt out really quick. So,
absolutely.
Next question, touch on your biggest struggle so far, whether it's mentally or just like, maybe it's with contracts, maybe it's with the process, the systems. What would you identify in the first year almost as your biggest struggle?
Well, this is actually an easy one to answer, because I learned very quickly that I needed to work on my mindset. And and when I say that, you know, I'm a very confident person. I believe in myself, you know, for the most part. You know, there's just, you know, I feel I have the ability to do it. But what was tripping me up is those times and moments where I wasn't quite so believing in myself. I knew I needed to work through that, because it was almost like I was being paralyzed in moments.
Right.
And I know I haven't really ever, you know, mentioned this to you, but like, there were moments that I just really doubted. Like, I
knew.
Really have?
You could tell.
And I'm sure,
you know,
I'm sure you could, but you know, it wasn't something that I, you know, wanted to externalize. You know, it was a internal struggle that I was having, you know, to really believe in that I can own my own business. You know, it wasn't so much believing in myself. It was like, you know, you move from a position where you work for a company and they tell you what to do, when to do it.
Yep.
And, you know, although I am the manager, and yes, I'm, you know, executing these things, and I do have quite a bit of control, I still have a baseline.
Yeah, if the store had a down day, you still made a good amount of money, or Correct. You know what I mean? You still got paid.
Yeah. And then now I'm in control, and even though, yes, there's a lot of systems that you have in place, it's still up to me to do them.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
They don't work themselves.
No, exactly. And I had to dig into my mindset. So that was one of the first kind of things that I really had to stop and pause, because I felt like I was running around in circles. Like, I was trying to focus on way too many things at once, too. It's like, oh, I need to fix it all, and I need to learn it all. And you know, I just was kind of running this rat race, and I had to stop and slow down and focus on and go, okay, I need to help this in order to fix this. And so I did start working with a mindset coach pretty early on, and that helped me realize that every successful person out there has their times and moments that they doubt them. And I know it may sound silly, but I didn't realize that. Like, I felt like I couldn't do it because I was thinking that, like,
right.
you know, like, and I had to learn that everyone feels that way, that this is a normal feeling. Yeah. This is a normal,
I'd say like once a week for me. Easy. Where you're just like, you're just defeated about something, or I don't know, like you compare yourself often in this industry to everybody else. Like, it's just kind of what we do. We're always in competition. We're always trying to tell how we're different or better than other agents. And like, yeah, mindset. I mean, there are people that used to be on my team early on that some of them, you know, they couldn't get past the mindset struggle. They couldn't get out of their own way. Like a deal just wouldn't come together, and they would go missing for a month, you know, and it's just like, they're just so wrapped up into it. And I think everybody feels that, like, if something goes wrong, you lose a client, somebody says that they're going to work with another realtor or whatever, like, it hurts all the time, no matter what. Doesn't matter if you sold 1,000 houses or one. Always going to hurt. People will say they don't care. They do. But the winners, this is what I used to say to a former team member. I would look at her all the time and I'd say, you know, she'd be stressed about something. There'd be something going on within the business, and I would just look at her and be like, but you're a winner. Like, and because there's just some people that just, they have the mindset they're going to win. And I was like, winners win. It's a silly thing, but like, winners figure it out. Winners have a 5-second funeral, and they move on.
It's how quick you
it's
bounce back.
And for me, it's always been, with my mindset, it's always been like, I'm not doing enough, or I haven't quite gotten over the mountaintop, or whatever it is for anything within my business. So it's always like that little voice being like, you can do better. That's the voice that like drives me though too. So it's like any really successful real estate agent for sure, or a business owner, I think they're successful because they have great work ethic, but they're also successful because they're like, they're never going to be satisfied, which is kind of a painful place to live at times, you know, but it's what makes them great oftentimes too. So like, but yeah, no, I'm glad that you said mindset, because that is the number one thing of why people will leave the industry or just not be successful, is they just never figured out how to just grind through something and realize that, yeah, you lost today, but that's today.
Yeah.
I sent a text message to a really top producing agent about an hour ago. And I said, hey, congrats on an awesome year. And then I sent him like some stuff that, to like help him with something. And he's like, yeah, you know, it's the thing about being a realtor. You pat yourself on the back for 5 minutes, and then the next day you're back at it. Like, it's just, but that's the mindset. If you know that, if you know that that's what it's going to be forever, because it doesn't change, then it becomes kind of like fun. Like, you're just like, okay, like, brain, shut up. Okay. Like, I hear you. Yeah. Today sucked, but tomorrow's gonna be awesome. Like, it's just the way it is. So yeah, I'm glad that you started to figure that out. But it's a constant battle. You'll have different mindset battles as you get busier, and you have different struggles, and you know, but winners win.
Right. And it's also the recognizing that though, like, it has helped me go, when I start feeling that way, it's like, okay, but when I'm able to just stop too, and you know, and let go of the worry, and again, just kind of give it to God. You know, like, give it. I'm taking it off my plate. I don't need to worry about this. This is gonna happen. It's gonna.
You can't control it,
going,
right?
You know, and it's that perfectionism piece too that I had to learn, that perfectionism is a form of procrastination, and it like almost paralyzed me. And I've had to learn that perfectionism doesn't exist.
Nope.
There is no such thing as perfectionism. And that is something I can say I've learned in the last year. You know, I can let that go. When I find myself doing something and feeling like I need to do it perfect,
Yeah.
I am now able to recognize it, stop, and go, I'm wasting my time trying to make this perfect.
Yep.
Because there is no perfect. And in whose eyes?
Right.
Too. Again, it's just like,
Yeah.
it doesn't exist. So,
yeah, like knowing that the best lead converters in the entire world are like at like a 15% conversion rate on internet leads, for example. Mm-hmm. It's like, that means they fail 85 times out of 100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Failure. It's like I actually can now like enjoy it because I can say, okay, I failed, but then if I failed, that means my success is coming.
Absolutely. It's one step closer to a no. Right. Or one no closer to a yes.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. This industry is crazy for mindset stuff. You just got to keep on pushing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Keep on keeping on.
Yep.
Well, 2 more questions, a little bit more fun ones for you. Number 5, what's your favorite part about being on the Tyler Miller team, or the TMT as we refer to it?
Yes. Well, I would say the environment. We're like a family, I like that we have healthy competition.
Yeah.
We're in competition, but we have fun with it, and we encourage each other. Like, if someone sells more houses or, whatever, it's like, yay, good.
Well, because that person is willing to usually turn around and show you what they did,
correct,
right,
yep,
to
you
get
learn
there.
From it. Yeah, mm-hmm. we're all teaching.
We want people to have success, so we can be like, hey, what did you do?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah. and I find that even beyond just the TMT, any EXP event that I've been to,
right,
just how much EXP in general, just the collaboration with, I've never felt like there was another agent ever that felt intimidated by another agent. It's just like, oh, how can I help you? How can I help you do better? How can I, and it
which
just amazes
is
me.
Incredibly rare. Like and everybody else that just started on our team at EXP are so spoiled because it's like, it's not that way at most other companies. Like, it's just everybody's so catty and but I agree with you. That's why we came here, because like I was done with that, and I was ready to be around people that are just like me, that they have a great mindset. They want to help each other. Right. There's enough business for everybody. Let's just do it together.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. Yeah, I would say that's my favorite. I enjoy coming to the office. I enjoy being around people, around everybody here, and it makes it easier to get up and want to come to work too, because if another agent even just hears me on the phone with something, they'll throw in their 2 cents, and it's not a negative. It's a, hey, like you could also say this or tell them this or whatnot. It's a great environment to be around. It's constantly learning and teaching. And
so it's not my inappropriate jokes at the office meeting, or
I mean
the very vulgar sign behind us that the camera can't see, or the people listening can't see.
That's like
it's not that vulgar. It just says, it's just a mindset quote.
It is, and it's a wonderful one.
I've always wanted it on my wall. It says, F average, be legendary.
Yep.
I mean,
it's a very good.
Who doesn't want that?
Right.
Right.
Right. Absolutely.
But yeah, no, I mean, I figured it was my jokes and like my jam sessions and stuff, but it's good that you made up a fake answer.
I'm sorry, Tyler. It can't always be about you.
Well, why are we even doing this podcast? Just kidding. Okay, last one. So it's as at the time of this podcast, it's mid-January 2023. Mm-hmm. What are you most excited about for your second year in the industry? What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to taking everything I've learned and actually put it. I mean, granted, yes, I've put it into action, and I have been very successful in that. I recognize that. But in retail, we always had, when I worked in clothing as a manager, we always would say 6 months to learn, 6 months to turn. And I feel like, okay, I have 1 year of learning under my belt. Like, now let's see what this next year of really feeling confident in what I'm doing, and see what that looks like. And it's not even just about production. It's about how many more families can I help?
Lives changed.
Truly, yeah. I know what owning a home has done for me, and once upon a time ago, I won't get into my whole story, but once upon a time ago, it was, different, and I didn't understand what owning a home, I could get told, oh, own a home, but where's the why?
Right.
I wasn't really explained the why, and now I have this passion of, especially for first-time home buyers, to explain to them what this could mean for them, that it's not just about paying the house payment versus a rent, a
right.
landlord. Like, what does that mean for you, and how can it help you in the future? And no, I just have such a passion for it too. It isn't just, oh yay, I'm in an industry that I can work hard, like I was able to work hard before, and then
right.
just benefit myself, because that was definitely one of the driving factors of changing, was that if I'm going to work 80 hours a week, I want it to benefit me, not just my CEO,
yep.
Of my company. And so
now you're the CEO. Look at you.
Now I'm the CEO. Yeah. But I'm really excited to see what that's going to look like for the next year, and how many more families I can help and help educate. And, I do have friends that are, even earlier today, I got a message from someone I've been friends with for years. And
I just reached out to him, though. I'm going to work with him instead of you. Yeah.
Instead? Oh.
I told him that, hey, that's cute. You reach out to Annessa, but we're going to work together.
Oh, you're gonna.
That's why I have everybody on my team.
You're
duh.
gonna do the same thing I did to you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We didn't even get into that. The balls on Annessa. Let me just really quick. Oh man, just absolutely tried to steal some clients from me right in front of me. It was fantastic. But I looked at her and I'm just like, that's why you're going to be great. No filter. It was so good. Well, I appreciate you taking time to tell us a little bit about yourself, your success. I think it's just, being at the brokerage you're at, it's important to share what's working, and hopefully you can help other people. But, for listening to you, I would say the big takeaways for me are, anyone that's getting in the industry, you have to do some work on your mindset. Like, no matter what, it's never going to be what you think it is. Yep. Like, very rarely do people get in the industry and just have immediate success and just never look back. That just doesn't really happen. So you're going to hit those struggles. But I think if you're motivated by the right things, then it's a little bit easier to power through the mindset stuff, where if it's all just about money and notoriety and stuff like that, it's not gonna hold you up. So one question I didn't have on here, but just curious, I think I always talk about how it's really important to have a big why. So what would you identify as your why?
Well, on one hand, I would say, and I know that people say that is the freedom, the freedom to have flexibility in your day and whatnot. But I that was my big thing at first, but now I would say my why is to help as many people as I can with home ownership, because again, I've learned how I feel inside as far as being a homeowner. I want that for other people. So I have that as my why. And again, to go back to the freedom, is I want to be able to be financially free, to be able to also go travel and see my kids. Like I said, now I have 3 of them that are out of state, and it doesn't, whether it's me go see them or be able to help them come here, there's family is very important to me.
Family is everything.
Right. And I really didn't like the, hey, I want to go on vacation, I have PTO, but then it was like, well, we don't have employees.
Kind of a guilt trip.
You can't go. And then I felt, more, more pull to do what was right for my, my company and my staff at the time. And, I really want to be able to put my family first. And that's definitely one of my goals this year too, is to make sure I'm able to travel at least once this year to be able to go see them.
I think you'll be able to. I think you have a pretty bright future, especially a bright 2023. And to steal a quote or a slogan from the late, great Sarah Pickens, one of my friends and colleagues in the industry, who unfortunately passed away recently, her slogan for her team is the best slogan of all time. And when she coined it, I was like, damn it, that's a good one. Mm-hmm. I should have thought of that. Okay. But it aligns really well with what you're saying. And it was counting lives changed, not houses sold.
Oh, I love it. Yes, 100%.
That's great.
Yep. Yeah, it is great.
So
it's a good way of saying it.
If you ever use it, just give credit to Sarah.
Oh, totally.
But I think when I saw that, I was like, that's exactly how I feel too.
Right.
But I couldn't steal it at that point,
right.
you know.
Yeah.
It's hers. It will always be hers. Mm-hmm. But anyways, with that being said, thanks for taking the time. I'm glad that you got to share a little about yourself. You're a badass. People need to know more about you. Again, Annessa Fackelman, going to be taking over 2023. So looking forward to probably having you back on here multiple times because I'm sure we'll be spotlighting you all the time.
Well, thank you for having me, and I hope I am back.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you will be.
This has been great. Thank you.
All right. So for all of you listening, thanks again for spending the last 36 minutes with us. If you have any topics you want to hear about, please reach out. We're always looking to add value, and hope you guys have a wonderful day. Reach out to the Tyler Miller team. If you have any real estate needs, we'd love to help you.
Absolutely. Yes.
See you guys later.